United and it feels so good. Friends and rivals, frenemies and lovers, the gang's all here. We've got brand new set secrets and someone from the cast is getting married tomorrow. It's the For the People after show. Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Better have a method to your
I was
man.
just about to ask you, what is your method?
Child, I have several. It depends on the method. Okay? You
On the level.
You never know.
That's true. You really never know.
You never know. But welcome back. This is the For the People after show, season 1, episode 10. We made it to the finale.
Made it.
This is what I wanted to say is the title of the episode. And like I said last week, tonight we're going to let it all hang out.
Oh.
Unfiltered opinions.
Okay.
All the way around.
My favorite.
Right?
Okay.
Well, I am Keith Andre here.
And I am Tori Broussard.
Hey guys, I'm El Marie.
And I am Takira Shabrae.
Back in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We missed
I
you. I know. We had
know.
2 weeks without you.
Yeah, on the whole season.
I
The
know.
whole season. You put me on blast.
Right, a little bit. But I'm glad we're all together for the finale. So we really had this experience. We can flush it out.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Mhm.
I mean, right off the bat, what were your thoughts with the grand finale?
I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was on like episode 5,
Yeah.
4 or 5. It kind of felt a little always, if that makes sense.
You can explain that.
Comfortable. I'll say comfortable.
Okay.
It felt comfortable.
I'll take that.
For me, it was just like we were talking last week, like what kind of cliffhanger are they
Yeah.
gonna have to make us like want to come back for that second season? So then, when it went off, I was just like, okay.
Right.
So because I thought
Yeah.
Leonard will get there, I thought like maybe Leonard would be, but then, so yeah, I just like okay.
And I did too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, I got what I wanted.
We did.
Finally.
I did, for 2 seconds. But I got it, and I'll
Right.
take it.
DVR, baby.
Hey.
Pause that thing.
I was pleased to have that as well. And I mean,
Yeah.
I feel the same as you guys. Coming from last week, like trying to figure out what to expect with the cliffhanger. They tried to do it a little bit with the Leonard situation and then Kate, but it was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here. They wrapped it together. It felt almost as if that, like when you watch like short series and
Right.
it's just this whatever episode
An
and you
abrupt
get
end.
everybody right, and that's all you need. But we'll get more into
Yeah.
that
We'll get more.
as we progress. As always, let's start with the breakdown of characters. Right off the bat, there was a lot of sex.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had to mark it. So you had sex? You had sex?
Right.
You didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't.
You wanted to, like,
Right.
I was like, poor Seth and Allison, like, oh.
I know.
that's so funny.
Oh my gosh. So when we
So
rolled
funny.
into, like, from the start of the episode, I was thinking, okay, y'all, this
Right. This is Shonda land.
this is what y'all been
Right.
waiting for. The finale to like explode.
Right.
Like everybody's doing it. As time progressed, we saw that wasn't most accurate. But who do you guys want to start with?
We can say that.
It's like, let's
I
just
mean,
do it.
they
Give the
basically
people what they
set
want.
us up to talk about it first.
Give the people what they want.
I mean, there's really not much to talk about outside the fact that we see Jill and Roger in bed together. I've been waiting
Yes.
for
We
this
have.
all season.
Oh, I was so happy to see it. I didn't
So
think
was
that I was
I.
going to be so happy, but when I finally saw it, I was like, yes!
I know.
Yeah, I was
girl.
super pleased as well. And I was thinking like they weren't gonna give it that to us
Yeah.
so quickly
Yeah,
in the
they were
first
gonna draw that
season.
out.
Right.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, that's Jill and Roger
Right.
tumbling around the bed.
And she was like, it's fun. I was like, okay.
I know, right?
For now.
Hey.
It's
so-
cute.
She did try to throw your man under the bus.
She
just
did.
a second.
I was just about to
When?
bring that up.
Just a second. Well, he was like, "Are you mad at me?" And then she was like, "Well, it wasn't that bad."
And I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Be mindful of our words. It's very important.
He does have the
Shoes
power
wise,
now.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I know, right?
Be a little-
Funny.
I was happy to see that. I mean,
I
we've been
was too.
predicting
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
every week. So
And I love
Yeah.
that they had so much fun. Like, they enjoyed it. And it both gave them that pep in their step that they needed
It
for
was.
that day.
They
Right.
both told
Oh
their
my
teams,
God.
have a good day. I was like,
Yeah.
they did.
Wow.
So
Let's make
we
it a
For
great
Roger,
day.
I was like, oh.
Right? Well, we can jump into Roger because we saw him in that bid and then we saw him a little bit with the team. But outside of that, we didn't see
We
much
didn't
of
really
him
see
in
him,
the
yeah.
finale, which was kind of disappointing as well. I think for a finale, you like to see
Right.
everybody show up, but he had that pep in his step. Everybody had a good morning.
Yeah.
So it was good for him. Jill, I feel, was used a lot more. And I
Yeah.
walked away like, she's such a good mentor.
Yeah.
Like, she does such a good job of feeding Sandra because she always needs. She's
gosh,
the
yes.
neediest of them all.
Yeah, she really got on my nerve. I know we'll get to her, but
Yeah, but I really I can appreciate Jill. Like her skill set, her character, I always feel like is fully developed. She gives us a story and she's just there to support and nudge in the right direction.
Yeah, she is.
definitely.
Very motherly figure for her little children.
For her little children.
Yeah.
Okay, aside from Jill and Roger, do we want to keep going with people who had sex or do we want to kind of bounce to those who didn't get any play?
I mean, there's only one other person.
No,
No, there's
two.
three.
Two.
Three.
There was
Two, three.
Three.
Baby, Sandra, Allison, Seth, they all,
Sandra.
Oh,
Sandra.
Sandra
Oh,
did
that
not
didn't.
Sandra.
That didn't happen.
Oh,
No, that
That
did.
didn't.
okay.
Oh, I thought you said did.
Oh,
Okay, let's
my
go
bad.
back. Do we want to go with? Let's just go with who did.
Let's roll
Next
with
up
the
is
same.
Leonard. Right. Save Kate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Leonard.
We'll go with Leonard. So he's
Okay.
still hooking up with old girl.
Alice
Yeah.
Hunter. I can't remember her character's name.
I can't
Forgot her
either.
name, yeah.
But
I
I
bet.
think El Marie, was your prediction a while ago that it was going to be a fling or that he would probably hook up with her? I can't remember what
I think
exactly
it was more
was.
like fling.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Which
Yeah.
Like
we-
she would be like she's around for the.
Yeah.
Right.
I
She's
thought,
around.
She
I
on
thought
speed
that
dial.
right. I thought that she was gonna actually have a presence, but like more of a presence because we appreciated her character so much in her episode. But yeah, she didn't. Poor thing didn't even have speaking words
She
this
didn't
time.
have nothing to
Right?
say. She was just rolling around
I'm
that
glad.
bed.
I'm glad though because that whole "you broke my brain" thing. I was waiting on it. I was like,
Yeah.
please.
They messed
don't-
up with that one.
Yeah.
They did for sure. So with Leonard, if we think about, I guess, the arc of his character. So he had the sex. His mom was back offering him this new position, but we did get to see him question that. I feel like throughout the episode, there was this glare with him trying to figure it out. And it made me feel like, oh, this is the purpose of Leonard's character. It's because he doesn't know what he wants or what direction to go to. And I thought Reggae did a good job of displaying that in this episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His vulnerability.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And then just even him going to Kate and
Yeah.
asking, like,
Yeah.
what do you think I should do? Like,
And he
excuse me?
knocked on the door. Did y'all catch that?
Yep.
He knocked
no.
before he went in. I
Oh,
was
wow.
like, oh, okay.
It's
The
different.
first knock, yeah.
Child.
That's
see
how you
what
know
happens?
it's serious.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He respects her. He's kind of releasing
Yeah.
his releasing his power a little bit.
Yeah.
But I will say he was still this whole like inviting Roger to lunch. I was still like, really? Are we still on that?
Forcing him to lunch. Like just put it in the calendar.
I
But
was
I
like-
love how Roger put him on blast.
Right,
Afterwards,
right.
he's
For
like,
anybody
I saw
who
that,
doesn't know.
and I took it off my calendar.
Yeah.
Then he went into For anybody who doesn't know.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so it was good to see that. And I think that, I don't know, by the end, I was questioning Leonard and Kate.
Right.
I get, it felt almost rushed just a little bit because I
Very
don't feel
much
like
so.
we saw point A and then we saw point D.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Very
where in the
much
line
so.
they would have these ties to each other to
Yeah.
where they have like
Right.
these glaring looks and like these moments that are so intense.
Yeah, because like I was saying last week, and they ended up at the restaurant or whatever in this episode, but like they didn't. I thought they were going to use that
Yeah,
to build
all
some
the
type of
time.
relationship
Yeah.
with them. Yeah, so even if it didn't go sexual right away, we could have seen how close they were and
Yeah.
everything, and they just like
It
mentioned
just
it and then
made
left
it up. We
Right.
made them be close near the end.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna save, I guess, her prediction with
Me
them
too.
for later.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to see that. So we could jump right over to Kate because she was having sex as well.
Go
And I
girl.
was like, does she do this every morning?
every day.
And you
Every
saw
day,
this
baby.
time she unplugged the alarm clock. She didn't just hit snooze. She unplugged
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Or should I
was-
say
At the
Anya
beginning.
unplugged it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, so Kate is still getting it in. She's very much still the help desk. You know, she's still the go-to person for that. So that's her role. Other than that, I mean, of course, she showed up as always. Before we get to her and Jay, I guess we can talk a bit more about her and Leonard.
Okay.
Because for me,
Okay.
I didn't understand how she was having all this sex, and then at the end you want to reveal, like, I'll miss you. You know, I want you to stay in this whole cutesy list thing. I was like, well...
Yeah.
But I feel like we even caught this on, the first episode that they have a thing.
Yeah.
Neither one of them wanted to admit it. Now time is basically forcing them to admit it.
Address it.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like it was executed properly.
Right.
for
Throughout the
Yeah,
entire
it wasn't.
season.
Yeah, it's hard
Yeah.
to see it. It's hard to end here and feel like, oh, they had this moment and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I felt the same. I was like, you were just in that girl's bed.
right, this
And now
morning.
you have some feelings about, him leaving. Like, what do
Yeah.
you want, Kate?
Yeah.
On defense, I kind of think that I think she will miss him, but I don't necessarily think that it'll be like a sexual thing. Like I think
Yeah.
she has not an attraction. I think she has a connection to Leonard, and
Yeah.
I don't quite think that she knows exactly what that connection is, even if it's just a friendship. Because at the end of the day, if they banter back and forth, they are both powerful, they bounce ideas off of one another. It's just that thing that makes you comfortable in your job or your role that you're like, I'll miss you, but I don't need it to be that kind of miss. I don't need you to take it that way.
Yeah.
But I'll miss you.
That's fair. I don't think it was a clearly defined because
Right.
the way it was written and scripted, it felt more like you want something else to be there. Even with the
Right.
fact that she couldn't tolerate, having that much vulnerability where, I gotta go and she ready to break down
And the
outside.
tear.
I
Yeah.
was like,
She cried a
I was
couple
like,
times
what's
in this
happening?
episode.
Yeah.
Very emotional. I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, Kate has definitely changed a lot over
yeah.
the season. One line she said during the episode was like, "Oh, I'm a as much an animal person as like anyone
everybody
else."
else.
Like,
No, you're not.
Okay.
What are you talking
you
about? Now you like animals.
Okay.
So I don't know. We did, of course, get to see Kate interact with Seth because they're in the office. He's still doing his Seth thing.
Being Seth, but did you catch how she actually asked him for advice this time
Yeah.
regarding her case? He
Both
wasn't.
ways.
Yeah.
Both Jay and Seth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I like that too because it did show her evolution because now she's more than just this fierce kind
The
of
ice queen.
Right.
Exactly.
I think it just kind of goes to show that she will, I don't think Kate has ever needed help asking for help.
Right.
I also don't feel like she ever struggled with giving credit where credit is due. So I just feel like this just goes to show that she's probably the most dynamic character
Right.
on
yeah,
the show.
that's fair.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. I do want to talk a little bit about Seth because he's been like my homeboy for a while. I didn't really care for him in this episode. I mean, he had the case of the ex.
He went backwards.
Oh, you didn't,
Let
you
it
didn't
out.
Like that.
I did not. I did not like the case of the ex. I didn't like the big, okay, hear me, I love you, rah, rah, rah. I'm just like, what is happening here? He has zero game. Who's texting back that fast? Like, what's
He
going on?
texted her on three occasions. First of all, coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, that's sweet. And then you're like, ooh, lunchtime, it's 11:30. You're going to go grab a snack? Like, come on. And of course, that's not what you said, but that's in my mind. That's what I'm
Right,
thinking.
right.
Like, it's only been 2 hours and you're texting me like, oh yeah, let's catch up. Catch up on what?
What?
It's been 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
that's how
nothing
I
else
felt.
happening.
Yeah.
And yeah, so he went backwards. I do appreciate he did say he was a changed man, and I think
Yeah.
so. But then he
Kind of.
like it's like he
But
went
I was
backwards.
wondering too,
25%.
how much changing was there for him to do? Because she was in the wrong.
Yeah.
No, but he was weak.
Right. And
So-
low-key,
Oh,
he
that's
still
right,
is.
that's right.
Yeah,
He is because of the way he was texting.
Yeah.
Ooh, see what I'm saying?
Girl.
See, y'all don't know what y'all want. Y'all don't want somebody to text you. You don't want somebody. Which one is it? But I don't.
You know.
Other than that, I mean, we saw Seth still hit a couple of his like one-liners and his cutesy behavior. So I was just like, oh, come on, Seth. I was not expecting him to go out that way. I definitely always enjoy his. I feel like he and Kate have the friendship. Like you can, it's clearly defined, and I was happy with her showing up. I knew it was her. I knew it wasn't no Allison. But I was
Right.
really pleased with her showing up at his house and they're gonna watch. Like, I love that they have a friendship. I feel like that's
Right.
the
Yeah.
solid friendship that needs to stick
Yeah.
and
Even though
bleed through.
it was really predictable, I love that they did it that
Yeah,
way.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That showed still another side of Kate, or Kate being more vulnerable, even though she didn't say, you know, what the problem was. But it was like, it was clear she had an issue, because from what we've seen of Kate, she easily could have like tucked that in. All right, let me go help Seth. But she stayed in it. Like, okay, I'll be here for you, and just by you being here, you're being here for me.
Exactly. And that was
Agreed.
enough, because we saw her, of course, scooch over on the couch.
Yeah.
But then before
I was waiting for her to just be like,
y'all know Kate is not
I know.
giving
No,
you.
she would
No.
not.
She's never
She
going to
said,
give
Would
you
you
that
do
much.
that, ma'am?
See,
She's
that's
never
why
going
I
to give you
wasn't-
that
this
much
surprised
power.
me.
But I did also appreciate, because a lot of the time with the role we see Kate in, it is other people going to her for advice. But I really like the fact that he asked her once she sat down, like, wait, are you okay? You know what I mean? And she's like, I am, but rah, rah, rah. So I was like, oh,
I love that.
they're
moment.
BFFs.
I know, right?
So
was a moment.
It was.
Such a moment. So sticking with the Kate train and sticking with moments, we have been waiting for the moment that we got to see Jay and Kate head to head.
Head to head.
Head to head. What did you think?
I loved it. Like, it just reminded me that, one, I love Kate, but two, I love Jay. Like,
Yes.
I love Jay. Everything about him, I think it's like him as a person in real life, like we Sam, but his like eye intensity, the fact that he's like, he'll look dead straight at you so
Yeah.
serious, and it'd be just a flat out joke. Like,
Oh,
I'm,
yeah.
like I'm riding an elephant right now, and I really don't know what she's saying. Like, it's just so random.
I agree. I mean, Jay is so good. When we first saw him meet, I guess, in the office, and he was like sweating and over her asking, like, do you want the water? I mean, you can have it. But I like that it's a two-way street. You know, she's throwing it back and he's throwing it right back at her. So we did get to see them kind of cultivate and shift into like, oh, working together and can respect each other. But I was wondering, why do you guys think that he ended up stealing like that?
That was my favorite part.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
I really don't know.
Oh,
Like,
I
he
got
doesn't-
it. I got it. It was
What?
stealing her happiness. He's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it was like, whatever this thing is, it's bringing you life right now. I'm taking that away.
Yes.
Because you took it away from me. Oh, I
Right.
got it. As soon as he smashed it.
Break it down for
I
us.
was like,
Secure.
Petty Patty over here.
I love it,
cracks
though.
me
Oh
up.
my goodness.
Yeah.
I love that moment though.
and
That was
and,
hilarious to me.
and also Jay, he is like Kate in that he's always standing flat-footed in himself throughout the whole episode, even
love
with the
it.
rivalry going down to the principal. Like, no, I got my own plan. I got my own ideas. I'm gonna assert myself. So I'm like, kudos to you, Jay.
Yeah.
Because it very well could have been a disaster for him
Oh, yeah.
facing Kate again.
But I love that he was like, you just got Adam dialed. And it was like, oh, that's a thing now. Okay.
Right?
Adam dialed.
Adam
My
dialed.
bad.
It was
hilarious.
I'm trying to tell you, Jay is like probably one of the best written
Yeah.
characters
Yes.
on the show.
Yes.
Yes.
Very much so.
He's so
Yes.
dope. He's so dope.
Favorite.
We still have to get into Sandra. She is my least favorite character of all. So before we go into that, we can take a little break and chat about some other conversations that we may be inclined to have.
You know, because sometimes we need the good conversations before we get to the ones that, you know, we don't like throughout the whole season. But want to have fun, learn, and grow in all areas of your life? For those who do, we have a podcast for you. Conversations with Maria Menounos Podcast Edition is hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder and drops every single Friday on iTunes. Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews, along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of life, from health, wellness, to career, relationships, finances, and more. Let our Maria be the big sister you've always wanted. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free. So be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, let Maria know that it was us here at the For the People panel that sent you there. Conversations with Maria Menounos Podcast Edition. Check it out, everybody. It's amazing.
Amazing. You can't go wrong. I'm trying to tell y'all.
You can.
Maria got some life lessons for you.
Right.
She does. And one thing that I love about Maria is drum roll, please. She's a Gemini, like not unlike me.
Oh,
so
okay.
God.
my birthday is Saturday. Her birthday is June the 8th.
Oh
but
my
we have the
gosh,
Gemini
okay.
connection going. So
You know what?
hate
They
on it
are
if you
so
want.
extra.
They are,
Say
which
it's
is why I'm
crazy
about to be
season.
like, what were you about to say about Sandra?
Right?
Y'all are haters, but that's fine.
Oh.
Sagittarius, we don't hate.
I
We have no
wonder.
reason to hate.
I wonder if Sandra's a Gemini.
No, she's not.
No.
I mean,
Okay.
That would
she's
be
too
something to
much.
talk about.
So what
well,
did you not like?
Okay,
Let's get
yeah,
into
so
this.
getting right into Sandra, and I'll tell you exactly why she's not a Gemini, because she has this air about her where everything has to, she's that perfectionist, she likes to work super hard, she likes to be in control. I feel like she would probably be more of like a Virgo or a Leo.
Yes,
or
like a Leo.
One of them. One,
One
of
of
them.
them.
I mean, we saw her tonight, and of course, she's always working. And I'm like, okay, so we know that she works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know that she works, but that's pretty much it. I will give her the benefit because watching, I was like, last week I felt like maybe she was sick, but then, you know, she had the whole incident where she's dealing with the hospital thing. And then watching this episode as well, I was like, is she sick? But I felt, well, maybe that's like a character choice because as an actor, you wanted to come across. I feel like the message with Sandra here was that she gets so eaten up by
Like
her
bothered?
work. Yeah. And
Oh,
if she
okay.
doesn't succeed, because they kept going back to the case that she lost, then it affects her physically. She can't sleep. She can't, all that. So, I mean, you know, I tried to give her that, but I felt that Sandra was still whiny.
Yes, very much.
I
so.
mean,
I have to say it was completely random for me. Maybe
The
I'm not the only
breakdown?
one. Not just the breakdown, but about this whole case thing. Why is this? That was in like what, episode 2?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
all of us? Did I miss something? Like
I was feeling the same way.
it was like episode 10, and all of a sudden
Coming
it
back
bothers
up.
you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I feel like she wasn't bothered throughout the season, or didn't have like flashbacks to her failure until this episode. So I
Right.
felt like it was a big chunk of I don't know, it was missing.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm trying to think like maybe this was so nuanced that it was something that we didn't notice with like her gradually getting more and more like quote
Okay.
unquote sickly or upset. But I just I can't jump on the Sandra train.
I can't
I'm
either.
sorry.
I
I'm
love
sorry.
her as an actress, as a person in real life, but the
Right.
character is.
I'm like,
yeah.
no, she's not worthy. He
No.
was like, you're worthy. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I will say I didn't mind her closing argument for her case. I was
Yeah.
like, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
See you.
I was hashtag unbothered. I was. I know that sounds so harsh, but
But yeah, and this was another episode where I felt like the cases took a complete back seat for me. This is the second week that that's
Yeah.
happened. I was like, I don't even care about
Yeah.
it. Like, what are we trying to get across with the characters? What's the action? And more than anything, what are we leaving to go into season 2 with?
right.
And I just don't feel like that bled through. I almost felt like, well, maybe they weren't it was written. It feels like it was written as if you're not expecting to go into a season 2.
Okay.
Last episode was very buttoned up and put together, and then right off of that, when you come into another one, I mean, the closing is her in the elevator with the judge, and he says, "You're worthy."
Yeah.
Do you
Like-
think that they're trying to go in the definitely not to compare it to shows like SVU and that sort of thing? I know that came up, but the way that they have a finish to every episode, do you think that they're trying to, playing the devil's advocate here? Do you think they're trying to do that, and that we're not just we're not picking up on that?
Are you saying an ending to the case or the characters themselves, like their storyline for that episode?
I feel like with SVU, obviously, it's like the longest running TV show.
Yeah.
So it's had some time for character development. But yes, I get what you're saying. They do a great job on SVU about the character development and reflecting back to that. But I feel like that's maybe what they're trying to do. It's just a prolonged, like, if you have a few episodes to do that. But in episode 1, or if you have a few seasons to do that.
Yeah.
But then I think that's why the cases need more more attention
Yeah.
on the case
Because-
if you're going to
right.
take longer to develop
Yeah.
the
Right.
characters.
Because I feel like in SVU and, Law and Order or whatnot, it's centered around the case itself.
Yeah.
You see, like, the main characters, because each case is different.
Right.
They develop over time, and you kind of see who they are through the case.
Right.
I feel like
Right.
for the people, it's like the case and then the
And then-
characters.
Yeah.
And then like
Okay.
sometimes they intertwine and then sometimes they don't.
I
Okay.
get that. I think it is trying to do the balancing between displaying two worlds, because
Okay.
you do see what I think is similar with Law and Order and For the People is that you do see how they work. We know that this is a show about
Right.
lawyers and this is a show about cops, you know what I mean, and their day-to-day and what happens across it. But I do agree with you that they are maybe trying to go in that vein where every episode of SVU, you know you're going to have a beginning, middle, and end. You know
Right.
how the case is going to end. Sometimes you're left with questions or you're pondering like, or you feel bad, but it is closed up and you're on to the next. But
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly, never disappoints. But to El Marie's point, it lacks the level of depth that's needed to really have a consumer invest enough in the story
This is season
and
one.
connect it to it.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, SVU, it's first of all, it's 5,100 episodes.
Right.
You can watch it, you can fall asleep, you'll wake up and you'll know.
Right.
And it's not even the same episode.
Right.
Because it's always a marathon. It's 3 episodes later and you're like, oh, I know exactly. Yup.
Yeah.
But you still have like that connection to it where you're gonna watch it again.
Yeah.
You're gonna watch it through. Like it's one
All
of
day.
those.
It's
shows.
that TV
Yeah.
show that you turn on. It's always on.
It
You can
never
just like go
gets-
to it.
It never gets old.
But do you think that is because there's really nothing else to compare Law and Order SVU to?
I don't think that, because you'll notice there are shows that have that type of stamina. I mean, I would give you feel that way about Grey's Anatomy. It's a show that's on different networks, different times, and people can go back and watch it.
Okay.
But for me, I
Yeah.
think about in my head, like Matlock, if that's on, I'll watch it. Murder, She Wrote is another.
Yeah. Old school.
Listen,
Old school.
I'll be 31 Saturday, but those are shows where it's very consistent.
Got
You have
you.
the same theme. You know exactly what's going to happen. It's going to happen the same way, but because of the level of drama or because of the story,
Exactly.
Yeah.
you are going to
Yeah.
invest and sit through and get something out of it. You know,
That's the
every
key
time,
word. That's the key word.
every time you know what's going to happen and how it's going to end.
Yeah.
That's true, but in the chat right now, Michael B and Vicky, hey guys.
Hey, y'all.
We got me excited.
They, I know,
Cover
right? They don't agree with us. They like Sandra.
Ooh, tell us why, please.
Yes. Michael said that she has issues, and I really want to know what they are. I know she has a deep problem regarding her mom. And then Vicky was just like, I know, I actually like Sandra.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you guys want to give us a little bit more detail,
Yeah, feel
what
free.
specifically do
Yeah.
you guys like about
and
her?
we can check back into the chat.
Yeah.
I do appreciate where they're coming from though, because that's what we liked about Sandra,
Initially.
and I
Yeah.
and I think that was I guess that's why we're on a Sandra boat right now, because we were a little let down because we were so intrigued by her story
Yeah.
and her development, her background. We were like,
Yeah.
oh, we love her, and I guess it just
Yeah.
We just didn't get
Yeah.
all of
I just
out
agree
of it
with
all
you.
of what we wanted.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know? And
Yeah.
like he said, to his
We're holding
point,
a
we
grudge.
definitely want to know what is it within. We are definitely harboring feelings. So
Yeah.
hopefully that's something that has to get expressed and
Yeah.
exposed next season.
Oh, it has
Absolutely,
to, yeah.
I
Right?
really
It
wanted
has
to.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really wanted to.
So we'll check back into the chat in a little bit. In the meantime, let's get over to like some of our discussion topics. But I do want to say, I mean, speaking of the chat, it's always live, which is a good thing. But the show, for the people, the after show, you can always search for it on iTunes. All 10 episodes are available for your listening pleasures at any point. And you can also go ahead and give us those 5 stars, because
5 stars.
5 stars is all that matters. So check out For the
Yeah.
People. I did want to say, because kind of going through this episode, I thought there were a lot of like, you know, real life moments. That's one thing
Oh,
I
yeah.
appreciated from them. Early in the season, El Marie, you had talked about how with the show, the good thing is we get to see young professionals. And so we did get to see like them make real life young decisions
Yes.
throughout. So one of the themes I thought about was with Leonard's, like when you think about how do you pick or determine like opportunities, because opportunities always come out and it's like, how do I pick and choose? I think everybody has a go-to
so
person,
true.
but nobody just goes to one person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I wanted to ask, I mean, what are you guys' thoughts around like when opportunities come up, what kind of helps you determine, should I do this or should I not?
Yeah, I do talk to people.
Yeah.
That's my
At least
the ones that I know are gonna give me sound
Uh-huh.
advice. And if I'm leaning towards one way, I'm like, let me call that person that's gonna push me that way.
Right?
And then that way I get kind of the pros and the cons.
Yeah.
Without like doing it myself, and I feel like maybe I'm biased since it's coming from other people. So I kind of.
You sound kind of like Leonard.
Yeah.
You know, like when he was talking to his mom, then he went to Kate.
Yeah, because with Leonard, I felt that
like I'm gonna make the decision for my own. I just want
to see.
It's kind of like that mentality. Like I know what I want to do. I'm just gonna give you the opportunity to plead your case.
But I don't think that Leonard knew what he wanted to do. I mean, I think that his mom was pushing him, and I think on the onset he didn't want to do it because he had so much pushback, and he was going to Kate because he wanted somebody to give him that pull not to do it. But at that point it was like, I didn't get it, so I guess I'm gonna go through.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking he wants the job for sure, but in the back of his mind he was like, if she gives me the one thing I need from her, and if I just hear her say that she wants me to stay, I'll stay.
Okay.
But the fact that she didn't give that to him the first time, the first opportunity that he gave her, he was like, all right, well,
forget
cool.
it.
Whatever.
Do you think that
Yeah.
do you think that he should have took the job?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why he should not have taken the job.
Well, Kate gave y'all a few reasons.
She did.
And I have to say, the one line about Austin not having a bunch of black people.
Okay, let me talk about that. Because she came for Texas, and if y'all don't know, I'm from Texas, and I really did feel some type of way. I mean, I'm not from Texas.
Give her 30
but I've
seconds.
been to Austin enough to kind of, thank you, to kind of know that she is kind of right, kind of not, because it is growing and we are getting more. But Texas is great, okay?
Of course. I mean, she said that too.
The houses are cheap.
They are. She did say Austin was even developing and up and coming, but I really appreciated that line. I thought it was funny, and I thought it was the first time that race was mentioned. And Leonard's race in particular.
In a lighthearted way.
Exactly. It wasn't heavy at all.
Yeah.
So.
And you know what's so funny is that's so real life. Like, because when you think, I mean, you think about that in our world anyway,
right?
You consider whether or not am I going to be the only minority?
Yeah.
And it's okay if you are, but then you have to like get into the mental head of okay, I'm the only minority, so I got to bring it, or I have to like you always feel like
you get prepared for that experience.
Isn't that weird that you have to prepare for that experience?
It is, but it's just like taking into consideration the cost of living, like
exactly.
Like, okay, how many brown faces? Like, what am I gonna have to do here?
Or just like blended families. Do I have the opportunity for that wherever I'm going? You think about that.
Exactly. I do want to ask because Allison and Seth, we did see a lot of this back and forth. So right off the bat, I was like, I got to ask them.
I knew that was going to be the next question.
Who's getting back with an ex? How do y'all feel about that? Would you go back to an ex? Have you gone back to an ex?
I mean, I don't understand. We talked about this. And I really don't understand what the problem is doing that.
That you would.
I mean, no, I have not.
I mean,
but I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm not opposed to it. Because, I mean, I don't know. It depends on the history and the relationship.
I think it depends on the breakup. I don't even think it depends on the history. It depends on the breakup. So how and why. And if it's
above all, if we break up for a reason. I'm not interested in making the same mistake twice.
So you don't believe? Do you not believe in people changing?
I believe
and
people that can change, but part of your change could be for somebody else. You don't need to change for us to get back together. Yeah. I'm just not. My advice is always going to be: if you left them, girl, leave them.
Because
That'll preach.
People are in your. Speaking of preach, learn it from my pastor. People are in your life for a season, a reason, and a lifetime.
Okay.
True.
So your reason could be, hey, I'm in your life right now because you need to learn how to grow up and then move on.
True. But sometimes what the Lord takes away, He does bring back.
In what capacity? Because we can be friends, or we can
Oh
go to the
my-
park and we can
Okay.
have
You're
coffee.
Sometimes it could be anything. It
can
could just
have-
be friends. It
That's
could be
fair.
a
I
relationship.
mean, it can happen, but
Yeah.
it's like the exception to the rule. The people that actually make it work when they get back
Agreed.
together.
In most instances, like 80% of the
know.
time, I'm gonna do some research.
Do you guys
conduct
not
a
follow that
survey.
account on Instagram called How We Met?
No.
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 Oh, okay.
But we will. It sounds like.
I'll look into it.
I mean, it sounds
I was
like
gonna
we.
say I read some of those stories, and there are more people than you think that actually break up and get back together.
I mean, I'm sure that's the case, but
And I feel, go ahead.
in comparison to the total population, how many? And then B, how many times do people get back together just to break up
We'll
again?
do
That
our
happens too.
research.
I'm
We'll,
not
we'll,
gonna win this.
we'll bring statistics.
Yeah, we can
the
take
Kate,
that-
The Kate Littlejohn and me will say, okay, this is. I'll bring numbers next
Perfect.
time.
Yes.
We can
Okay,
take that
that's
conversation
fair.
to Twitter.
We'll
and
bring a
carry it
guest.
out.
Yeah.
We'll bring a relationship guest to the show.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
It needs to be.
And I think sometimes when it does work, it was probably the breakup of like, you don't appreciate me and I have to leave kind of breakup.
Mhm.
So then you can come back together because you weren't really beefing on anything. You just
Yeah.
need the person to step up.
it's
have some
obvious
space.
that they don't do that. Takira, I'm still trying to figure
I
out. I feel
just-
like you can go either way, but I'm not gonna win this
I'm
battle.
telling you, I will
So-
tell y'all some stories, but I just don't think it ends well. But I want to move on because my follow-up question to that was, well, have you ever been the person that's begging to get back with the ex? Because Seth very much was that person.
That's a Tori question.
No.
You're the one. You're the
Who's
one that's
asking
oh my
to get
God.
back? Who's asking to get back in
No.
a relationship?
No.
I mean, I will be completely honest. For me, I think before it's like ended, or it's been times where it's ended and then you don't realize it's ended until after the fact, and you be like, girl, what are you doing? Like,
See,
this has
that
been
would be a
over and you
reason-
still. So, I mean,
Gotcha.
I don't know about the whole bagging, like trying to get somebody back
Yeah, I haven't tried to get anybody back. Like during when it's you breaking up and you
on
feel
the
like
please don't go, please.
yeah, no.
Let's work it out.
right. But
I
when
haven't.
it's done, it's like I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, but I know.
It can be a process though, because I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm the one. I'm gonna exhaust my.
Which one are you talking about?
I'm gonna exhaust my get bag. Like, okay, so what do you mean? What's happening?
So you're
here?
gonna
So
beg?
you're gonna go back?
I'm not gonna bag. Let's be clear.
Oh.
I'm
There's-
not bagging. I'm saying my bag of things. If we're having a conversation about the nature of the relationship and where it's going, I'm always going to have something to pull out. You know, I always going to have a
Okay.
trick up my sleeve to show you
in
why
your
you're
bag.
wrong.
Oh my God.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
Not bagging.
I took it like, okay.
I was about to
Yeah,
call him on his
be clear.
own.
There will be no bagging from me. But typically speaking, I usually am right about things. So if I tell you
Yeah.
this is going to happen, you need to trust that and ride it out.
Yeah.
But can you blame Seth though for at least trying? Because
Right.
that was that elephant in the room. Like,
Yeah.
you kind of almost have to be, let's make this, let's confirm this so that we can move on.
And I think that
Right.
that's fair, particularly in their case, because of the way they broke up was more around this event where she took this information,
Right.
you know, and that caused the split. It's nice to see them as friends. Maybe
Right.
in the end, we didn't really talk about Allison. She did end up choosing old boy, and I was here. I was
Toby.
fine with it.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
nice.
Go ahead and
Yeah.
get you some.
Yeah.
But I do feel like she was sending Seth mixed signals at one point.
Well, I
You know,
think
she
you know,
was-
showing up in the office. And
But
things
I
like
think that
Yeah.
she was trying to also decide how she felt about
Right.
him.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
early on when he had asked her to go out, Toby, she's like no, and then she showed up. I was like, why you lying?
She
when
made
she
a
sent the
decision.
text, when she sent
She
the text
did
like
make a
I'm in
decision.
court.
She did.
She's like I'm in
That's-
court, but she in the house
She
drinking
lied.
wine. What do we have to hide here?
Yeah, you're right.
don't- you're
Because
not
that's
my
not your
man.
guy.
You're not.
So it's kind of like,
So it's like you still
I
have those
think-
feelings.
I think she just wanted to respect his feelings. 'Cause
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
can kind of
exactly.
I can see why she did that. Not that I would have, but I can understand why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and good
But-
for Allison that
Oh
she's
yeah.
taken from that experience what she wants from it, and she's sticking to her guns and moving on.
Yeah, I don't think the whole Toby thing will last, but it
Oh,
have,
yeah.
but have
And
fun.
She don't
Right.
want it to
She
last.
does.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, don't tell me you
She
love
does.
me.
Exactly.
All right, let's go.
But then my
She
thing
went there
is,
for one
and
thing.
I know we have to move on, but just to end on Allison, my thing is if you don't want it to last, So what's your plan if Seth is still there? You're just gonna kind of, all right, I'm good. I think I love you now.
I don't think she wants
Right.
either. She don't want
I don't
Seth,
think
and
so
she wants a
either.
quick fix.
I don't think
Yeah.
so either.
And I'm fine with that.
But
I
could she
agree.
not have gotten a quick fix with Seth?
She don't want
No,
that.
that's not a
Who
quick
wants
fix.
it?
That's
they're-
attachment.
That's a
people.
draw out.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
That's
feel like
strings.
a
And people are
lot
always
of
lying when they say there's no such thing as breakup sex. That's just sex.
Yeah.
Mm-mm,
And
child.
and then it's considerate enough because for him it would never be that. So I
Right.
appreciate
Yeah.
her for that.
Yeah.
We did like jumpy,
Yeah,
like we
exactly.
I know.
Listen,
I'm
that's a
just gonna
conversation.
Stop talking about this topic.
Yeah, because that's a conversation for another
yeah.
day. Speaking of Allison, we will go ahead and get into our news and gossip because there's one tidbit I want to share.
Yay!
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, there was a tweet that she posted. I think we've got it. Jasmine.
Instagram?
On her Instagram. I'm sorry, I said Twitter. But yes, on her Instagram, and I've been following her, like trying to decode because she's super like ambiguous
yeah.
with what business she's letting out, what cat's out of the bag. She did show a picture of her childhood self in like a bathtub with other kids. I don't know her whole story, but she did announce that she is getting married tomorrow.
Crazy!
So congratulations
Out
to
of
her.
nowhere.
How
yeah.
exciting is that?
That is exciting.
We had the
The,
royal wedding last week, and now she's getting married.
I know, right? And the little bathtub scene, like, it gave me a flashback to childhood.
Okay,
Because,
right.
you know,
It
we
could've
mixed
been you.
mixed breeds. It's like, oh, who's that curly little cutie that's standing out and, you know, amongst a group
Exactly.
of individuals?
It was
But it
super
was-
cute. And then I
really cute.
saw in the tweet, because you know, or Instagram, sorry. The most important thing about Instagram is trolling through the comments.
Right.
Don't be exhausted by the number of them. You have to go through and look. And in her comments, I guess her partner had post like, hurry up and come. And she was like, oh, I'm on like 19 hours lack of sleep, but I'll be there. Like, I love you, da 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 da. Oh,
Really? Hold on, though. But I would have clicked on the partner's pictures.
her profile private. I tried. Yeah, you already know I was.
I knew you were. I knew
I
you
was
the
gonna-
dirt
Like,
because
the
you
dirt.
are here
You wanted
for the dirt.
Let's get that dirt. But I could not. I mean, she's private, so hopefully we'll see if she posts, you know, pictures from her wedding, and we'll be able to see that. But congratulations to her. She's got a
so
job. They come back for season 2, and she's happy.
Yeah, good stuff.
So that's
Way to
all
end.
the news and gossip I had. I was glad that we found, you know, a piece to
Something.
go out with.
Yeah,
It's been pretty tight knit,
yeah.
But-
it was worth it though.
worth the wait. And then, of course, they did let us have some set secrets.
Yes, there are a good few.
Say what?
That's right. We have set secrets. So obviously while we get them pulled up, Celia Finkelstein. So if you don't follow her on Twitter, follow her on Twitter because she's hilarious. But the first one we have set secrets. The man in the picture on that board is my dentist. So there were, you know, like props and everything. Which I think is hilarious. And if
Right.
he's the dentist, I'd be like, so do I get like some type of
What-
percentage?
Right.
Like, what do I?
Did you sign an appearance
Yeah.
disclosure?
Yeah, right.
Or
Can I get a little some of that?
did he know before she announced it?
Right. The second one we have, Tom Verica tweeted, Celia reveals she plays all of the roles at home in the mirror. Hashtag Ask Tom, hashtag for the people. And she says, and I picked this one specifically
Yeah.
for our girl Tori. She said, my work as Roger is my best, I feel.
Yes, I
Hey.
love that.
I feel like mine would be too.
Right. I love it. And it's so funny because I really think this is true because this is like the second or third time that it's like, oh yeah, she does it in the mirror or she puts on the
Yeah.
quilt. Like,
I mean, it makes sense as a writer to like go through in your head and
Yeah,
play it out. I'm
Yeah.
here for
Embody all your characters.
it.
Right. This one comes from Ben Rappaport. He said, the funny thing is, while shooting, I kept screwing up the line, quote, this is what I wanted to say, end quote. Tom Verica was like, dude, that's the title of the episode. You can't say it wrong.
Like, get it right.
Pressure.
For real. And Tom Verica directed this episode too.
Oh,
So it makes sense.
I
Yeah, so
love
he's
it.
really on him then.
Yeah.
I love it. And our final one comes from Reggae. On Twitter, he said, oh, and finally, I never snort laughed so hard at the table read in my life as when the Norway stuff came up in this episode. I'm talking I spurted water out of my nose in front of my boss. Funny. Our writers are underappreciated shade ninjas, and I love them.
Okay.
Hashtag for the people. The
Catch
shade
that
is real.
shade. Yes.
They do find ways to like slide stuff like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. You know, like random stuff if you don't pick up on it, like kind of off camera before we started. I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but and I had a second guess myself, but during Sandra's closing argument, she said that the Chinese lady is like living the American dream and she moved here and she's like said something about being like a Knicks fan and she's like, and she likes Drake.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
She did.
I was like, okay, he's from Canada. I mean, it's cool.
Fun fact, right?
But it's like on an, you know, to be a citizen, it's like question 52. Do you like Drake?
Which song?
Yeah. Like, if so, please list details.
Right?
Like, okay.
That is so funny.
But yeah, I thought that was funny. So that is Set
Our
Secrets.
set secrets.
Our
which
final
is
Set
our
Secret.
final one. I mean, it was good that they did that this season. I'm excited to see what they come up with next season for Set Secrets and where the story is going to go further so we can jump into any predictions.
Yes.
Wow.
And now,
Season 2.
your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
It's so haunting
It is
and mysterious.
haunting.
Can I just say, this whole Leonard thing, I feel really bad when he first brought up that job thing. I was like, are they writing him off?
I thought
know,
the same
I
thing.
know.
Yep.
So I was like, no,
Yeah.
please don't. If that's a consideration, maybe it's because he's filming. Like he told us, he's filming the new movie.
Oh yeah.
That he mentioned during.
When he was here.
Gosh,
Right,
Machine something. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Ray Gay, that I'm forgetting the movie. So maybe that's why he's doing bigger things.
Yeah.
But
I don't think that he'll be written off though. I think they needed something to give us
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
somewhere to kind
Okay.
of contemplate. So I think ultimately he's going to end up deciding not to go.
Yeah.
I don't see him leaving.
Or he goes and he comes back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be something like
Yeah,
that.
I think they're going to stick with everyone that they have on the show. I don't
really
see
hope
anybody
so.
leaving.
I hope so too.
I think everybody complements each other very well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
do.
And they've got the footing done, so let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we can just
I'm
get
here for that.
Like,
it.
drive it all the way.
Yeah. Do you have any other predictions?
I don't have predictions specifically.
Yeah.
I literally put no predictions, but I know 3 things that they need to do.
Okay.
More jaw-dropping moments.
Yes.
Deeper, please, Lord, deeper character development.
Okay.
And give it all they have.
Give it all you got.
Give it
Lay
all
it
you
all
got.
on the table like we just did.
Lay it all on the table. Hashtag unfiltered.
I
Because if they
agree.
don't, I mean,
Yeah,
Where do
no,
we go?
that's
Where do we
right.
go from here?
Yeah.
It's hard.
Right.
I mean, yeah, at this point, we're invested enough to come
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
for a
Let's
season
go.
2 and take the ride for that experience. But like we said before, with it comes a level of expectation. And if you're not
Right.
giving me the drama, and this is a drama, this is a show that I watch for
Right.
drama,
Yeah.
not
Right.
comedy, not,
It's
you
a
know what I
drama.
mean? To pass the time, not to
Yes.
go to sleep to. This is, you have to give
The
me what I
dirt.
need. Yes, I'm trying to tell
Oh
y'all.
my gosh.
Give me the Shonda.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Like,
Yeah.
I really
Need a
feel
Shonda.
that the show got picked up in a large part off the strength of Shonda. She is
Okay.
an executive producer on the show, so I think it's important that she input more of that, more of herself,
Yeah.
more of the Shondaland appeal to it, because that's what's kind of falling short a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
we will see more characters developed. I think we'll see the strengthening of the friendship between Seth and Kate. We'll get to experience Jill and Roger as a real couple, because we didn't get to see that.
Okay.
Let's be clear, I've had that prediction for
Yeah.
roll the
we
tape,
did.
roll your
Right.
tapes.
You mean at the same time as me, sure.
Okay, well, that's fine. And then I'm not sure what else. I don't know what's going to happen with Sandra, but I know for sure probably those things we're going to experience. What
The
about
only
you
thing
two?
is, like we said before, just expose her whole story.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we just need to know everything at this point. Like, We don't need to keep
Yeah.
getting a little hints like the second season going in. Maybe it doesn't have to be like the first episode coming into the second season, but whenever they decide to do it, go all in and just tell the whole story.
Let's do it.
I think it'd be interesting to have the second season kind of revolve around her, just because we didn't get enough of her.
The quiet as it's kept, we were led to believe that this season
was.
was going to revolve around her. I mean, it even closed, you know, with that line, "You're
It
worthy." So.
Opened and closed with her.
Right. So I feel like now they have no choice
Yeah.
but to give us her story.
Well, we shall
hopefully.
see. I mean, I'm excited to see where the show goes. We've rode this ride out. It's been 10 episodes, so it does come to a close. We appreciate everyone in the chat.
Yes, they also gave you their thoughts.
Okay,
on
let's hear it.
Sandra. So Michael said, "I just think Lynn wants to." Sorry, I guess there were some words left out. Wants to be wanted. He's been doing stuff for other folks, and I think he wanted to know if we could have a real life in New York.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Okay,
He's
wait.
talking about Leonard.
Oh
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
There's some more. Okay,
The-
he
the-
said she's very passionate about the cases and she gets it. It is because of her mom or something else. If it's something else, I just really want them to explore that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I can get down with that.
Yeah.
She really is passionate. And then Vicky said she's a firecracker and she's kind of the underdog that fights for everyone, which is true.
That's true.
Yeah. But
Case
she needs to be more
made.
than
Yeah.
that. Yeah, well, we appreciate you
made.
giving us that feedback.
Thank
we can
you.
always check out the live chats now on YouTube. Keeps them rolling.
Yes, that's
And then
awesome.
everyone who's commented, because there are comments from the other videos when you get around to checking them out. So thanks for taking the ride with us.
Yes.
Until next season, I mean,
Oh
that's
my gosh.
it for this.
It's weird to think that the season's over.
It's over.
It is. Now, we do have to say, last week we had Backstreet Boys and we were going through that back and forth. So we did want to leave you with a little bye from NSYNC.
NSYNC.
Okay, I am Keith Andre. You guys, it's been a pleasure. You can follow me all over social media at Keith_Andre.
And I'm Tori Broussard. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Tori_Broussard. And tune in Tuesday nights because I am now on the panel for America's Got Talent.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Guys, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at ElmarieTV and check me out Monday nights for Basketball Wives. And starting next Wednesday, Black Ink Crew Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Check that out
Hey
Wednesday
now.
nights.
Come on, success. And I am Takira Shabrae, aka Kate Littlejohn, for the people. I'm like spitting all over the place. But you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Takira_Shabrae, and on Wednesdays I do Queen Sugar.
Oh, nice.
Third
Good.
season.
Yeah.
And I also do 13 Reasons Why.
Oh,
so
perfect.
if you have binge watched or just watched a couple episodes, find me there.
Yeah, so we got shows to catch out, and really quickly, I'll tell you, I'm here each and every Wednesday as well. Dear White People and 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After.
My
Get into
shows.
it. Well, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz. See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.